So you hear of more and more people out there saying that they keep the Sabbath. I'd like to explain what that means, because I grew up with the Sabbath. My family is not Jewish. I grew up during communism, so it wasn't really the popular thing to do in my country. But the reason why my family kept the Sabbath is because from reading the Bible, they saw it as very biblical. Basically, in Genesis 1 and 2, you see that God created the world in 6 days. On the seventh day, he rested. He made it sanctified. Now, everybody knows that the day that God made holy is Saturday, because even when Jesus died on the cross, he died on Friday, and then he rested according to the law, and on Saturday in the grave on Sabbath, and then on Sunday he resurrected. So there is no question. The day that God made holy is Sabbath, it's Saturday. There's so many questions that come with it. First of all, I guess the purpose of the day was you spend time with God every day, obviously, like even Adam and Eve, they were interacting with God on a daily basis. But Sabbath was a day of worship. We see in the Bible that it mentions in a few places that the whole creation actually presents itself on Sabbath to worship God. And for my family personally, it has been kind of like a sign of trust. If God said it, give me one day of your 7 days, we'll give it to him, because we have been tempted many times. Man, I can finish my homework, I can do my chores. The same way that Adam and Eve were told, don't eat from this tree, eat from all the other trees. I feel that the same way God is saying, work 6 days a week, but that 7th day, give it to me. First, it shows trust of my part. I'll trust God with that. I'll still be able to finish the rest of my stuff on the other days. I'm telling you guys, God blesses. Second, it protects this time. When you have a relationship with somebody, you need to spend time together. We spend time with God every day, but to have 24 hours protected for worship, for time with the family, for serving, and have it as a special day, it definitely enhances the relationship in an amazing way. During one of the world wars, I was told that they tried to change that cycle of 6 days to work and 1 to rest, and they tried to make the week 10 days to work, 8 or 9 days, and then to rest. People started getting sick. So obviously there is something from creation in our system that follows that cycle of work, of 6 days work and 1 day of rest. Now even science is talking about it. People start keeping the Sabbath not because of religion, but because of health reasons. It enhances the relationships, it helps our health, etc. So the benefits of the Sabbath are undeniable. The question now comes, why are most Christians worshiping on Sunday? And historically, the reason is because Jesus worshipped on Saturday, the disciples worshipped on Saturday. They got together every single day because they lived together, but they kept on worshiping on Saturday, and the worship day wasn't changed until the 4th century, more or less, where the Emperor Constantine got Christianized. He wanted peace in his empire. Since the Christians were persecuted, and it was obvious who the Christians were, the ones worshipping on Sabbath, on Saturday, while the pagans were worshipping on Sunday because they were worshipping the god of the sun. So the Emperor Constantine changed the holiness of the day for the Christians from Saturday to Sunday. And this is historical fact. The Catholic Church says openly that the Protestants, by worshipping on Sunday, they recognize the authority of the church to change laws. Now, according to me and my family, no one has the right to change the law of God. And the Catholic Church openly says that if you want to follow the Bible, then you have to be worshipping on Saturday. But they personally have chosen to follow the Bible and tradition. Christians say after Jesus died on the cross, you're not under the law anymore, you don't have to keep the law. You're not under the law means that you're not condemned by the law, but the law is still the one that guides you to Jesus. It still shows you what is right and wrong. No one says that after Jesus you can murder, you can lie. All of the commands somehow still seem logical for Christians, that we need to keep them. We need to honor our parents, we need to keep all of the commandments, but somehow the fourth commandment, they're saying you're not under the law and you don't have to keep it anymore. The law does not save you. You're not saved because you don't lie. You're not saved because you don't kill. The law shows you what love means. To love God are the first four commandments, means that you will keep the Sabbath, you spend the Sabbath with Him, you will not say His name in vain. And the next 6 commandments from the 10 commandments show what loving your neighbor means. You will not murder him, you will not commit adultery. All of those, this law is still valid, but you're not saved by it. It's Jesus who saves you. Jesus said in the Old Testament, I'm going to put my law in your heart. This is the new covenant, that this law is going to be in our heart. We're not going to be keeping it listically. Like the Jewish, they had made all of these little laws for how to keep the Sabbath. You cannot make it more than a certain amount of steps. You cannot light a fire. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. And Jesus came and He's like, I'm so tired of your Sabbaths. I'm so tired of all of these man-made laws that you have made, because you're not worshiping me with your heart. I strongly encourage you guys to study that subject, because I really feel that it's going to be a very relevant subject at the end of times. Who do you worship? Do you worship the Creator, who His law and His Sabbath, or are you worshiping yourself, or the beast who changes the law of God, proclaims himself to be instead of God? At the end, it turns out that it's not just a day, but it's a matter of trust. Who do I trust, God or myself?